Hey, what's up guys? In today's video I'm going to talk to you all about trying to maintain your condition whilst you are away from home. So whether you're on holiday, whether you're traveling, whether you're away overseas on business, my number one rule is to always keep training, okay? Because when people tend to stop training, a lot of other good habits tend to be broken and replaced with bad ones. Okay? Usually when people are away, they can't stick to their nutrition as well as they do when they're at home. They tend to, most of the time, overeat or eat the wrong things. And when they combine that with not training, not burning as many calories, that is when the damage is done. That's when a lot of people tend to put on quite a lot of body fat. They no longer kind of build muscle. Some people don't lose muscle, but if you're away for a long period of time, you are going to start to see a little bit of muscle loss. Now, when it comes to flying long distances, the plain food they provide you with is far from ideal, so I will take food with me and prepare it at home. If I fly in the morning, I'll fast for a large chunk of the flight. If I fly later in the evening, I'll consume the meals which I've prepared and then just try and sleep it off. Now, I've been to Thailand before, but that was like 8 years ago, and I wasn't really into the whole gym thing as much as I am now. And I was a bit hesitant at first, particularly because I was going away for 3 weeks. That's a long time to be away from my, the gyms which I'm used to going to on almost a daily basis. So to find gyms out here was going to be a struggle, but I knew it would work. I would find a way of making it work. What I do before I book a hotel is I will look at my destination and I will try and figure out where the gyms are or where the best gyms are. What I tend to do is book a hotel, a decent hotel, round and about where that gym is. I don't want to book a hotel which is in the middle of nowhere for too long because there's no way I'm going to be able to train. First place I went to, landed in Phuket. Stayed it was around the corner from Patong Beach. And there was this awesome gym in Patong, like really cool, had all the equipment I needed. This gym's so good.
It's so cold in here. I love it.
That's the way we like it. That's the way we like it. We don't like a swing gym. Now, when it comes to training abroad, you won't always know what equipment you'll have available, so you have to scope it out and check out what you can play with. So you're not always going to have the opportunity to follow a program which you have done previously. So when I go abroad, I just have fun with it. I mix it up. I try and stick to the compound movements, and I just try and make the sessions as intense as possible. So when I go to the gym, it's very rare that I'll go and train just one muscle group. I'll often try and combine a number of them together at the same time. So for example, this one, I did delts, biceps and triceps. And the main focus, particularly if you're not going to be training as often, would be that if you are at the gym, just focus on the compound movements, stick to the demanding exercises and really keep the rest periods short. Try and get as much done or as much work done within that session to burn as many calories as possible. Now I found when I'm on holiday, I have kind of my favorite times to train. Usually it would be first thing in the morning. I would probably wake up, have a little bit of a breakfast, not a big one, and then I'd go wherever the gym might be, train, get it out of the way so I can chill for the rest of the day. So just driven to the gym on my trusty moped, and I'm going to train shoulders and chest. The other alternative would be to train kind of later in the evening, maybe 6 or 7 o'clock. So enjoy the day till it's full, enjoy the sun, soak it up, and then when the sun goes down, everyone's kind of winding down, getting ready for going out. That's when I'll head to the gym. And it's also kind of beneficial as well for me to train my ass off and then go and have the biggest meal of the day after that for dinner. So here we are in Ao Nang, a place called Heroic Fitness. They're heroic because they've given me a free pass for the next 5 days. So it wasn't about that. I've only got literally 45 minutes to squeeze in a hamstring session, but I'm going to be here for the next few days training. And as you can see, it's pretty well equipped with everything I need, with a rather funky colour scheme with black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Got the missus training with me as well. It's actually going to be good training with her because she likes to do a lot of lower body work. To be honest, if we're being completely honest, my hamstrings are rather poo compared to everything else, so they really need my attention at the moment, so I should really be training them at least twice every 10 days. Another way to stay in shape is simply just to try and burn as many calories as possible throughout the day. Now, if you're on like a sunny holiday, a relaxed one, you're gonna spend a lot of the day chilling out, not really doing anything, not really moving. It's gonna be too hot to move about. So I suggest, if possible, just go for a swim, okay? Whether it's in the sea, whether it's in the pool, do a couple of lengths. Maybe book yourself some kind of daily activity, whatever it might be. Do some water sports, go on a hike, go cycling, anything. Just be creative, get outside and move. Now, in my personal opinion, I think one of the biggest obstacles to actually staying in shape is the nutrition side of things, because you're in situations where you can't prep all your meals. Well, most of the time you can't prep. I'm not going to go away on holiday and prep meals, I just simply won't do that. I'm going to these amazing places, exotic places, and I want to enjoy the exotic cuisine. I want to try different foods, and I don't want to hold back. If I go to a restaurant and there's 3 or 4 things on the menu I want to try, I'm going to eat them all. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm like, I'm only going to get one dish. What I do, and I've found what works for me, is to have less frequent, bigger meals. So one of the best strategies for me is not really to have breakfast. What I tend to do is fast throughout the morning. I would break my fast around 12, 1 o'clock with something light. It's not too heavy. If it's too heavy on the carbs and everything, I'm just gonna be right in a food coma, which I don't want. Usually I'll break that fast, wait a couple hours, maybe have a little bit of a snack or something before I go and train. Then after I train, I then have the biggest meal of the day, which that's a pretty substantial meal. That probably is over 2,000-3,000 calories, I'm not gonna lie. It's good. It's really good. Another option which has kind of worked for me with the whole 2-meal approach would be to wake up and then have breakfast, because a lot of the places I stayed at had breakfast included, so I don't want to miss out on breakfast. So I'd have a light breakfast, have an omelette, not too heavy, but it was a big breakfast. And then I would spend a large chunk of that day not really eating anything, so I was pretty satisfied from breakfast. And then when it comes to the late afternoon, I'd say, I'd have a little snack, like a pre-workout meal, which is gonna allow me to train at my very best. And then after that meal, I would then have, the biggest meal of the day, which would be in the evening. And like I said, I wouldn't hold back and enjoy it to the fullest. And I have found when eating a lot of these restaurants, they pack a lot of oils into the food. When it comes to prepping them, they don't prep it the way I would normally prep it. I would use maybe just a tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil, some seasonings, and the meat or the fish, whatever it might be, would be pretty lean, okay? And then I'd have my carbs, which would be rice or sweet potato, and some green veg, and that would usually be it. But all these meals I've been having here, packed full of hidden fats. They can be healthy, okay? A lot of the food I've been having out here, especially in Thailand, has been fresh, really healthy, but just a hell of a lot of calories packed into them. Obviously, hydration is going to be a big factor, particularly if you're in a warmer country. When I was in Thailand, the place was so humid, I was sweating a lot of the time, so you need to ensure that you stay hydrated to allow protein synthesis to occur. Now, when it comes to alcohol and nights out, obviously you want to try and keep that to a minimum. Okay, not only will the alcohol be detrimental for retaining muscle mass, but if you're drinking a lot of beer, drinking empty calories, you're just going to store it as body fat, and you're really going to lose definition very quickly. And you'll also find that if you are training and trying to go out at the same time, the quality of those training sessions is definitely going to go down, and you will lose a lot of strength at the same time. It's hard to tell when you're traveling how much protein you're getting in on a daily basis. And from what I experienced in Thailand, the portion sizes of the meats and the fishes were sometimes not ideal, so I would often supplement with additional protein every day to ensure that I was hitting my targets and to prevent any muscle breakdown. I'm not gonna lie, I did put on a bit of body fat. Over the 3 weeks, I was eating a lot, but the most important thing was that I was training. So guess what? I actually put on a bit of size whilst I was on holiday. So, it's not the end of the world. The key things you just need to bear in mind is to keep training, keep active. If you are not going to be active and you're not going to be training, you're going to have to eat less if you want to try and keep the body fat off. Because otherwise, if you end up going on holiday, you eat more, you train less, what do you think is going to happen? The most important thing you have to bear in mind is how many calories you're going to be consuming. So you won't know exactly what it's going to be, but you can make decent estimates. Don't go abroad and overeat or go and choose the things which you know you probably shouldn't be eating. Okay, try and keep the good habits in place. And if you are on a good holiday like this where the sun's out and it's hot, you should be motivated enough to try and stay in shape. So, hope you enjoyed this. Sorry for the drought that has been taking place on my YouTube channel at the moment, but I will have plenty more videos to come now that I am back home.